This actual rock that you see here is actually being brought out from underground. It'll give you a perspective of the amount of room that Brant and I had in there.
They live to tell their tale of being trapped underground and to share their experience.
If it didn't fit in that bottle, we didn't get it. So all our food, sandwiches, water, medical supplies, everything came in a bottle that size.
Todd Russell and Brant Webb occasionally become living exhibits in the Beaconsfield Museum, next to the mine where they spent a very uncomfortable 2 weeks.
The first 20 minutes, the stuff that races through your head, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Despair, this isn't happening to me.
We only had a very small area that we were laying in, and with nowhere to stand up or move around.
An earth tremor triggered a rock fall at the gold mine while they were working 925 metres below the surface. A colleague, Larry Knight, was killed, and for 6 days no one knew whether they were alive or dead.
We had to cuddle each other, days on end, just to transfer body heat from each other.
It was to be another week before rescuers could reach them. They know what it's like to have your hopes raised and then dashed.
48 hours, you will have you out in 48 hours, 48 hours. I think about 6 days elapsed with 48 hours, so it's better that they don't tell them.
Here they come.
Their plight gripped Australia and was reported worldwide. When at last they were freed, the reunion with their families was broadcast live on television.
Oh, look at them. Oh, man.
If Todd and Brant's experience is anything to go by, long after the Chilean miners have been brought to the surface, they'll still feel trapped by their ordeal underground. Both men say they needed counselling to get over the trauma.
You've got to unload it. And these guys in Chile, they're going to have to really start unloading as soon as they get out, because otherwise they're going to build it up and it's going to become a little time bomb in them. So, that's what breaks up marriages and families and ultimately yourself.
In the months afterwards, Todd needed solitude and often lost his temper.
Unfortunately, it nearly cost me my marriage, and, I had to realise then that, maybe I do need the help that I need, and, I couldn't see it, but everybody else around me could, so I went and got the required help I could, and, it's probably the best thing I ever did.
Their families suffered too, even after they were finally reunited. Has what has happened in Chile brought back a lot of memories?
Yes, it certainly does. It does. It makes you think about everything again. Most days you do anyway. There'll be little things that'll remind you, but I do feel for all the women and the children and everybody, because your life is on limbo, it's just on hold.
Brant is now an estate agent, but remarkably Todd still ventures underground, selling explosives to the mining industry.
It was probably the best thing I did, and went back down and faced my demons, and I found it very hard the first time I went down. I don't have to spend a lot of time underground, maybe a couple of hours here and there, which is good, but I'm lucky enough the people that I work with and deal with in my job, they're aware of my previous situation. So as soon as I get uncomfortable, they bring me out straight away anyway.
Would you go underground again?
No way. You couldn't pay me enough money.
They still live in the small town which was made famous by the events of 2006. Their rescue and the death of their colleague is commemorated in a plaque outside the mine.
When you're put in a situation like Brant and I were in that cage, you rely on each other and you create a bond. Brant and I, we still don't see each other regularly today, but he knows I'm there for support and I can go to him for support.
It's a friendship forged in adversity which will last a lifetime. Ian Woods, Sky News, Beaconsfield, Tasmania.